Hey buddies, I'm Bonokoen. Make sure to hit that subscribe button to catch more of my food and travel videos every week.
Bonokoen here, the guy behind Bonokoen Tasty Path.
Recently, my channel has been getting more subscribers. Thank you all so much. It really means a lot and gives me the motivation to keep this journey going.
I'm a person with a big love for food and travel. If you're into street food, local flavors, and cultural eats from around the world, you're in the right place. Right now, I don't need some incredible content. The weather, the food, and the culture here are absolutely amazing. And what I really love is how friendly the people are. Trust me, it's worth the wait. I know it's been a few days without a new video, but I've been taking the time to edit everything just right. Thanks for your patience and sorry for the delay. New videos are coming real soon. Stay tuned.